Welcome to the Topaz eSchool Manager application. Today's tutorial will be on a feature of the application called Setups. Setups are made up of stored information which will be applied on regular basis in the app. These setups will save you the worry of typing in one thing over and over again anytime the need arises. After logging in successfully, your dashboard will be displayed. If you are a first-time user, do not be worried that your dashboard is empty. After entering some data, your colorful dashboard will be displayed. Although setups can be added in the course of your data entry, it is advisable to prepare your setups before you begin data entry. To add a setup, move your mouse pointer over to the Setup tab. The setups has been divided into various categories in alphabetical order. In this tutorial, we will learn how to add a setup called Academic Year. In the course of data entry, it will become necessary for you to add the academic year the school is in. To set this up, click on the Setup menu, select the A to C option and locate Academic Year. Click on it, and a page loads. As you can see, I have already entered some academic years. If you are a first-time user, the table will be empty. To add a new academic year, click on the Add New button. A pop-up window automatically appears. Type in the academic year the school is in. Type the begin date of the academic year or click on the calendar icon on the right to help select the date. And the end date of the academic year. Click on Save Changes to save the newly added academic year. The new academic year should be seen in the table. In case you made a wrong entry, you are allowed to delete or edit. To delete a record, click on the record to make sure it is highlighted. Then, click on the delete icon in the form of a trash can on the top left corner of the table. If you are certain that you want to delete the record, click on the OK button. After deletion, the record should no longer be displayed. Please note, however, that every deleted setup that has been used for a particular record will not show whilst viewing the properties of that record. To edit an academic year, click on the record to make sure it is highlighted. Click on the edit icon in the form of a pencil on the top left corner of the table. Then edit your incorrect value. Then, click on the update icon in the form of a floppy disk in the top left corner of the table. This will save any changes made. Thank you for your attention. Let us move on to the next setup called Banks. In this tutorial, we will learn how to set up banks. The Banks setup will enable you to select the bank students have made payments into. To add a bank, click on the Setup tab. Locate Banks under A to C, and click on it. A page opens. As you can see, I have already recorded a number of banks. If you are a first-time user, this table will be empty. Then, click on the Add New button. A pop-up window automatically appears. Enter the name of the bank and click on Save Changes. I used First National Bank as my example in this tutorial. The newly added bank will be displayed in the table. In case you enter wrong details, you are allowed to edit or delete. To delete a record, click on the record to make sure it is highlighted. Then, click on the delete icon in the form of a trash can on the top left corner of the table. If you are certain that you want to delete the record, click on the OK button. After deletion, the record should no longer be displayed on the table. To edit a bank, click on the record to make sure it is highlighted. Click on the edit icon in the form of a pencil on the top left corner of the table. Then, edit your entry. I will change Access Bank Ghana to Access Bank International. Click on the update icon in the form of a floppy disk in the top left corner to save the changes you made. Thank you for your attention. Next, is bank branches. This next setup will enable you add the branches of the banks you entered. To add a bank branch, click on Banks Branches under A to C. A page loads. Select a bank from the data you already recorded. Or, add a new bank from the Create New button. I used Sovereign Bank in this tutorial. Type in the location of the bank branch. I used Accra in this tutorial. Type the email address. Type the contact person for that bank branch, and the contact person's phone number. Click on the Save button to save changes. You can also edit the details, if you made a wrong entry, and delete a record if necessary. To delete a record, click on the Delete button. Click on the OK button if you are certain of deleting. You can also edit a record, if the need arises. Thank you for your attention. Buildings is the next feature under Setup A to C. Buildings setup contains the various buildings in the school, for example, classroom and administration blocks. To add a building, locate Buildings under A to C of the Setup tab. Click on it, and a page opens. As you can see, I have already typed in some buildings. For a first-time user, this table will be empty. To add a new building, click on the Add New button, a pop-up automatically appears. Type the name of the building and click on Save Changes. The newly added building will be displayed in the table. You can delete a record if a wrong entry is made by highlighting the record. And then click on the Delete icon, the form of a trash bin in the top left corner of the table. You can also edit a record you typed in by clicking on the pencil icon. Make the necessary changes. And then click on the Update icon in the form of a floppy disk in the top left corner of the table. Thank you. Let's move to the next setup called Class Streams. The Class Streams enables you to record the various divisions a particular class has been put into. To add a new class stream, select A to C from the drop-down menu, and click on Class Streams. A new page opens. If you are a first-time user, this table will be empty. To add a new class stream, click on Add New and type in the name of the class stream in the pop-up window. Click on Save Changes. The newly recorded class stream should be listed in the table. To delete a record, click on it and make sure it is highlighted. Then, click on the icon in the form of the trash can at the top left corner of the table. Click OK if you are certain you need to delete. To edit an icon, also highlight the record and make the necessary changes. The routine for edit and delete is the same for all the setups. Thank you. Next, is the class assignment feature. In this tutorial, the class assignments feature will be discussed. This feature allows users to record the names and marks for assignments of every class. To add a new class assignment, select A to C from the drop-down menu of Setups. And click on Class Assignments. A new page opens. Select the academic year the school is in. Select the class you are setting the assignment up for. Select the subject the assignment is being given on. Select the term the school is in. Data for the subject and the term are setups that will be discussed in subsequent tutorials. Indicate if the scores are in raw marks or percentages. Then, type the assignment name and the total marks for the assignment. You can use the scroll button on the right to help you enter the figures. Click on Save to save the entries made. You can edit the entries made if necessary, and delete as well. Thank you. Let us move on to class tests. To set up class tests, locate A to C under the Setup tab. Then, click on Class Tests. A page opens. Select the academic year, the class, the subject on which the test was given, and the term the school is in. Data for the subject and the term are setups that will be discussed in subsequent tutorials. Indicate if the score is in raw marks or percentage. Type in the assignment name and the total marks for that particular assignment. Click on Save to save entries. You can edit the information entered, and also delete. Thank you. Next, is the city's setup. In the course of running the application, the user might need to allocate locations of student or legal guardians, hence the need to set up cities in the application. To set up cities, click on the Setup menu, select the A to C option and then, click on Cities. A page opens. Select the country the city is in by clicking on the drop-down menu. I used Ghana in this tutorial. Then, select the region the city can be found in. You can also click on Create New to add a new region. Select the district the city is in from the drop-down arrow. And then, type the name of the city. Click on the Save button to save entries. In case of wrong entry, you can edit or delete a record. Click on the Delete button to delete a record. Confirm deletion by clicking on the OK button. To edit a record, click on the Edit button. Edit the name of the city in the Add City column. Click on the Save button to save changes. Thank you for your attention. This next section of the tutorial is on how to set up countries. The country setup allows you to record the names of various countries. This will be necessary in recording the nationalities of students. To add a new country, select A to C from the Setup drop-down menu. Click on Countries. A new page opens. As you can see, I have already recorded some countries. To record a new country, click on the Add New button. A pop-up window automatically shows. Type in the country, the nationality, the country code and zone. The zone is the continent the country is in. I used Nigeria as my example and therefore Africa as the continent. Click on Save Changes to save the entries you have made. The newly added record should be in the list now. You can delete a record by clicking on it to highlight and then, clicking on the delete icon. You can also edit any details you have entered, by clicking on the pencil icon. Click on the floppy disk in the top left corner to save any changes made. Thank you. Let's move on to the next setup called currency. In this tutorial, we will learn how to add a new setup called currency. This setup allows you to choose the particular currency a payment is made in. To add a new currency, select A to C from the drop-down menu of the Setup tab. Then, click on Currency. A page opens. As you can see, I have already recorded some currencies. The table will be empty for a first-time user. Click on the Add New button to add a new currency. Fill in the details in the pop-up window that shows the currency name, the symbol, the buying rate, selling rate, and currency full name. I used the Naira as my example. Click on Save Changes to save the details entered. The newly added currency should be seen in the list now. You are allowed to edit and delete as you wish. Please note, however, that every deleted setup that has been used for a particular record will not show whilst viewing the properties of that record. Thank you for your attention.